The Center for the Prevention of Radicalization Leading to Violence has been providing support for radicalized individuals involved in politico-religious extremist movements ever since it opened. Time and time again, we have observed that, rather than becoming radicalized abruptly, such individuals move toward violence gradually over a long period of time. Take Sarah, for example. Sarah lives in a society that is constantly changing. A young girl with an interest in current events, Sarah follows the public debates, examines political discourse, reads newspaper editorials, and spends lots of time on social networks. Sarah is an excellent student, but she is extremely angry about some of the biased views and social conversations around immigration, religion in the public sphere, and the status of women in certain religions. Sarah is a Muslim, and she is very concerned and outraged by the situation in Syria and Iraq, by the dead children and civilian casualties. To her, it seems as if nobody wants to intervene where Muslim populations are concerned. Sarah feels increasingly out of step with the world around her. It's as if she's living in a society that wants nothing to do with Muslims, as if there's a double message. Being religious and practicing her religion is important to Sarah, but she feels unable to do so openly without being judged or singled out. As a result, Sarah has begun looking for answers. Sarah has found a broad range of answers in both the real and virtual worlds, some moderate, but often increasingly radical. Sarah is not particularly well equipped to be able to distinguish between facts and biased or unfounded opinions. It will all depend on her vulnerabilities and her protective characteristics, i.e. her degree of cognitive rigidity, how strong her critical thinking skills are, how well integrated or isolated she is in the pluralistic social environment around her, as well as the level of social support she has and the people she associates with. All these factors will play a key role in the choices Sarah makes next. Someone Sarah spoke to explained to her that real Muslims have no place in Quebec and that it would be better if she went to live in a real Muslim country, away from Western materialism. They also explained that it is the religious duty of all good Muslims to help other Muslims in suffering. Sarah has also been insulted twice since she started wearing the jilbab. She is fed up with arguing with her parents who disagree with her decision to wear it. On top of that, she has to put up with the wary or disapproving looks she gets from everyone in the street, and she feels as though she were being personally targeted. Sarah now has a more black and white view of the world. She has begun expressing increasingly intransigent and polarizing views to friends and family. In her eyes, her parents have abandoned their religion and forgotten to be true Muslims. Sarah has started to cut herself off from her friends who can't understand her attitude anymore. The once devoted karateka now refuses to salute during practices, as she doesn't want to bow down to anyone but God. At school, she is increasingly irritated by certain topics having to do with the theory of evolution of the human species. Sarah is now convinced she doesn't belong here. She wants to leave Quebec to be free to live her religion in accordance with true Islamic values by joining a group in Syria that is defending Islam and Muslims, for example. She does not want to go and fight, but she would like to help out, maybe to teach, look after orphans, or marry a devout fighter. In any case, it would always be better than Quebec. Sarah has slowly become radicalized. She finally feels ready to actively support certain extremist groups, to condone and perhaps even plan out violent acts of hate towards other groups of people. For Sarah, the time has come to take action against the West's poor treatment of Muslims. The radicalization process is a series of circumstances and personal choices. People become radicalized in different ways and for different reasons in Quebec City, London, or Abidjan. To prevent radicalization, pay attention to behaviors that may indicate certain shifts in people's beliefs and perspectives. Be proactive and contact us confidentially if you're concerned about someone. Our professionals will be able to advise you as to what steps you should take and to provide you with specialized support if necessary.